Hey there. You know what? I really can't believe this, but I think I better put a headset on just so that you guys can hear me properly. So give me 1 second here. Gosh, don't you love these amazing professional videos? What we're missing right now is the cat, but I'm sure she'll be here soon. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Chris. How are you both doing? I haven't seen either of you in a while. Good to see you here. So tonight on the Q&A, both y'all and whoever else jumps in, feel free to let me know what questions you might have. But the ones that I've got that have come up already were, one of them was around basically working around injuries. One of them is about when you've got an accountability buddy group that went bad, went kind of rogue on you, and then what to do when your joints are hurting you. And then I've got a couple of other questions also that got posted. So just, let me know what you've got. Hey, yes. So Chris, I just have to throw this out there. Did you go ride? Like, if anybody that hears this today is in Houston, Houston just has this amazing, like literally an Indian fall happening in the middle of summer. So it's kind of crazy. Very pleasant though. So for those of you who have not met me before, I'm Kelly Howard. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we've got number 4 Q&A from our Fit and Fabulous and free fitness storm that we've been doing. I think next Monday night wraps up the actual event, but we'll be going and continuing forward with Monday night just basically live. So you can always jump in with a question. And the lives will be a little earlier going forward because I find that by 7 o'clock at night, it's a little late for me, quite frankly. I get up pretty early, and usually I'm having dinner by 7. So I hope you guys don't mind, but we're going to go a little earlier. Oh, you had a long ride, Chris. Congratulations, very much. Congratulations for you. Good job. So let's jump in and just talk real quick. The first question that came into me today was about what to do when you've got an injury. So you've got an injury, you have a set thing that you do, and now you've acquired an injury, and how do you work around it? And what happens so often to people is that when you first get an injury, you just kind of get this all or nothing attitude. And the attitude is, oh my God, I can't do X, whatever it is that you like to do. I'm screwed. What am I going to do? And I mean, I've had the chance over the years to talk a lot of friends off the ledge for this one because it is a big deal, and especially a big deal once you start really getting serious about a workout schedule and you're committed and you're in there, you're like all in, and then something happens. And what you really need to do when this happens, and injuries do happen. Like, I mean, I would love to live in a world where they don't, but they do. Like, the more you do things, the more that you're just going to get caught up and, something's going to happen. So, injuries do happen. So how are you going to deal with it? First thing you're going to do is don't get emotional, right? Like, it's just a thing. And you will heal. Like, you just do heal always. And so take the emotion away. The next thing you do is you go, okay, let's see. Okay, so Kayla's got shin splints right now. So first thing I would do is I'd say, okay, I have an injury, shin splints, whatever it is. What can I do to continue moving that allows me to also rest the thing that needs to be rested? So shin splints, I mean, a couple of things you can do for those. I mean, one of them is toe tapping. And like literally you just tap your toe, and it warms your shins up, and it'll actually allows them to heal quicker. But then the other thing is that you're doing a lot of running, right? That kind of starts the shin splints. So maybe you need to switch to something different for a little while to give them a rest. whatever that is. Maybe it's swimming, maybe it's biking. I'm not, okay, wait a second, hang on. I gotta stop this. I gotta stop the presses for a second. Kayla, are you running right now or are you switching over right now? That's the question, because you really have to let your body rest. Like, that's what injury is. It's a rest thing. So like for me, I know that like when I hurt my hand, I couldn't kayak for a very long time, but I could run, I could hike, I could bike carefully. I mean, there were a lot of things. Oh, toe tapping, yeah, tap now. But there were a lot of things that I could be doing that took me away from that injured place. So you really have to like immediately get your mind out of the woe is me, and immediately look for the things that you can do otherwise, and start doing them. Rest it. Like if you've hurt yourself, especially for the person who dropped me this email today and asked about injury, you hurt yourself, give it the rest. I mean, I have lots of things that I go to for injury. I tend to, obviously I do the rest. I do the ice, compression if needed. I'm a fan of acupuncture. Not everyone is, but I am a fan. Some things has worked for me, some things it hasn't. So, and if you've got like a true injury, straight to the doctor. But, you just want to like, don't go to the dark side immediately, because that's what happens most times. And I guess the second part of this is the same thing. The person who emailed me today about all the joints hurting after she started weightlifting about 3 weeks ago. And she said that now she can't do it because she's hurting. Her I think it's her elbows are hurting, her knees are hurting, and her hands are hurting, is what she said. So generally what happens on that is that our muscles build quicker than our joints do. So it's so much easier to build muscle than it is to get your joints ready for weightlifting. So a lot of times we'll go in, we'll start lifting weights. We'll be like, hey, I got this, I can lift whatever it is. And you go a little harder and a little harder and a little harder, because you're doing better than you thought you might have done. And what it's doing is it's putting stress on the joints, because they're not as tough as muscles are. A lot of times people don't think about the fact that whether you're a guy or a gal, I mean, muscles build, and muscles can build really fast. So if you are doing the weightlifting, then what you really want to do is you want to start lighter than you think you should. Weightlifting is a long game. Like everything that we're doing actually is a long game, okay? Like all of this is. So weightlifting especially. And if you, I don't know what the age is. I'm going to make something up. If you're over 30, this is my makeup. I'm just making stuff up. If you're over 30, what you want to do is you definitely want to give yourself a longer runway to building muscle. And once you start really getting serious about it, you'll build muscle as quick as you want. But that whole weightlifting thing, like even now when I increase weights, like I'll go in, I increase weights about roughly every 4 weeks, depending on what I've been doing, but about every 4 weeks. And when I first increase weights, I go super slow, because I want to make sure that nothing is hurting and nothing is feeling uncomfortable. It's my elbows that will tend to be where I feel it more than anything. So if I'm lifting weights and I'm pulling down and I start noticing that my elbows are kind of popping, they're feeling a little uncomfortable, I dial it back. Like there's just no reason to push it too hard. So think about that, Lynette, when you're doing your weights, that you just want to dial it back a teeny bit and just go for longer reps. Just build up slow, okay? So that is the specific question I had on that one. The other thing that I had, this question also came in. I talked the other day about accountability. So like if you've got accountability comes in a lot of different shapes, sizes, and flavors. But, very, very quickly, what I was talking about was that layered accountability. So, you're accountable to yourself, you're accountable to a coach or a mentor, you're accountable to a group, like a buddy group or a community, and then you can have public accountability if you want to add it to there. This particular question was, what happens when you get a buddy group together? Like you actually create an accountability group with buddies, and they just go rogue. Like they just don't show up. They don't do what they say they're going to do. I mean, they're just kind of holding you back, actually. And I can say there's two things about that. One of them is that start out by not using your good friends as your accountability buddies. They are the best people to support you in your emotions. They're the worst people to support you in what you want to get done, because they will always help you make excuses. They're your good friends, right? Or your partner, same thing. Like, I know I know lots of people who use their partners, and like they're going to go run this evening, and then one of them says, oh, I think I'd rather just sit on the couch and have a beer, and next thing you know, the party is ensued. So forget that. You want to get people who you believe in, you trust, good community, but they're not your besties. Then you need to have everybody has to have some skin in the game. So however that works for you. I mean, I know that I've created a couple of accountability groups, actually several of them over the years, that have been super successful, but it's because everyone had a skin in the game. Like no one got a reward unless everyone did what they said they were going to do. Like that's huge. I mean, that's peer pressure deluxe. So you need to find those kind of people that you want to play with. This is a good group for that. I mean, this is a super good group for that. So if you're looking for if you're looking for some accountability buddies, I'd try that. So what else? Let me ask if, Kayla says she can easily be talked into staying home and eating lots of carbs. Absolutely. Like it's the easiest thing in the world, right? So, you need to find those people who really, really have skin in the game. Another question that came in earlier, and I got to jump over to another window just to make sure I've got it right. Okay. This question is about coaching. So like, how do you know if you've got the right coach? How do you know, if it's what you need? Some stuff like that, like kind of in general. And I'll give you guys that, like my high level on this one. High level is that if you want to achieve something and you're not doing it yourself, okay, you have a driving desire, whatever it is, and you're not doing it yourself, probably a good place to get a coach. Like that's a good first step for finding a coach, a mentor, whatever it is. I know I've used coaches for business. I've used coaches for fitness. I've used coaches for lots of different things because to me, I've always thought that if there's someone out there doing it, then I would rather learn from the person doing it than continually trying to remake a wheel that's not working for me. So that's the first thing is the first question I would ask if you're considering a coach is exactly that, right? Like, is it something I really want to do and am I not doing it? Second is if you want to find a coach, then I would say the place to look is to look to people who have already used that person. Like you want to test drive them. You want to read the reviews and the testimonials. You always want someone who, I guess always is a word that I wouldn't normally use. You want to be able to talk to that person first and make sure that there's someone who can talk you through and that you can work with, because not everyone is your gig. So you definitely want to check on that. The other thing that you want to do if you're looking into a coach is you need to know where they want to take you, right? Because you guys have to be on the same page. Like a for instance might be, let's say that, okay, here's a biking thing that I did. So I wanted a coach who would get me to a century ride in a certain time period. So I was out looking for that coach, and I wanted to be able to, like really bring my time down, really like kick ass and take names on this century. And the person I found at first felt like a bad mix, because she was like, no, I mean, I can help you with your writing. I can help you with your century, but I'm not going to encourage you to work that hard on your time. And, to me, I was like, it's all about finishing fast and so on and so forth. But then after we started talking more, I realized that she was actually right. Like, why did I want to basically kill myself to achieve something that didn't matter as much as my ability to do something really well for the long game without injury? So I ended up realizing that she was a great fit for me, but I wouldn't have known that without talking to her. So I guess the bottom line with that is you do want to chat with the person. Take a few minutes, make sure that they'll sit with you on the phone for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Make sure that you've got the right person. So those are the questions that I've had tonight. Does anyone have any other questions? Because I know that, all right, you guys, hold me accountable in this. I need to get a new pair of glasses because I never can see the comments over here. Keep dropping my glasses down my nose. And yeah, thanks. Yeah, new glasses, Kelly. So another thing is that for those of you who are not on the email list or in the Fit is Freedom private group, you definitely want to do that, because we've got a special announcement going out next week. It is only going to you guys first, and it's your choice first, because it's going to be a limited group, and I've got a small number of people that can join me. And so you definitely want to be in there so that you're first choice, because that is the people who will get first choice. If you're not on the email list, you can drop me your email. You can go by the website, which is fitisfreedom.com, and put your email there. And either way, we'll make sure that you get the announcement. So any other questions before I jump off? Because I am going to make sure that I don't keep you guys too long. Next week on Monday night, I think it is the wrap up for our series. And so that Monday night will be on a 7 p.m. And then after that, we're going to skip a week because the 5th is my birthday and I'm taking my birthday off. And then we'll be back on the 12th, and I'll be starting back up Monday nights at 6 o'clock. So otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon. Love you. See you later. Bye-bye.